Today, we're diving into one of the most electric and, honestly, one of the most polarizing players in all of college football, Oklahoma's quarterback, John Mateer. The guy's a walking highlight reel, but his entire game is built on this fascinating paradox, a contradiction that has scouts, fans, and analysts kind of losing their minds trying to figure him out.
And that really gets us to the heart of it all. What happens when the very thing that makes a player magical is also the source of their biggest mistakes? That, right there, is the puzzle of John Mateer. And to really crack this puzzle, we've got to look at both sides of the coin. And the stats? Oh boy, the stats tell a wild story.
So check this out. It's laid out right here in black and white. When the pocket breaks down and all hell breaks loose, that's when John Mateer is an absolute stud. His PFF grade under pressure is the best in the entire SEC. A pressure-to-sack rate of just 8.5%? That's insane. He just doesn't take bad plays when things go wrong. But, and this is a huge but, when he has a clean pocket, when everything is calm and perfect, that's where nearly all of his turnovers come from. He gets aggressive and makes his worst mistakes. So how in the world can a guy be at his absolute best when everything is at its absolute worst?
All right, so to really get this paradox, we have to start with the good stuff. We have to talk about the magic. Let's look at the raw talent that makes people think this guy could be a genuine superstar.
You hear analysts talk about him, and they use words like moxie. He's got this elite athleticism that just lets him, well, thrive in chaos. He's what you call a true playmaker. You know, the kind of guy who can take a completely busted play and somehow, just somehow, make something incredible happen out of thin air. It's all instinct, all confidence.
And look, it's plays like this that get you on the NFL's radar. This quote from Dane Brugler, it just says it all. It's not just about the arm, it's the whole package. The awareness to feel the pressure, the strength to shake off a defender, the wheels to extend the play, and then the arm talent to fire a laser downfield. That right there, that's the John Mateer experience.
And don't think for a second this is just empty flash. The dude produces, big time. In his breakout 2024 season, he was responsible for 34 total touchdowns. And that number is so key because it shows he's not just some scrambler. He's a true dual-threat weapon who finds a way to get into the end zone one way or another out of that chaos.
Now, when you're the QB at Oklahoma, you're going to get compared to Baker Mayfield. It just comes with the territory. But they're really different guys. Baker was known for being super brash, right? Mateer, he's described as more personable. But the biggest difference is on the field. Baker could move, for sure, but Mateer's mobility is on another level. We're talking over 1,000 yards rushing in 2024, if you take out the sacks. He's practically a running back there, and that's a huge part of how he creates the chaos he loves so much.
Okay, so for every one of those magical plays, there's another one that just gives scouts a headache. So let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this paradox, the fundamental mechanical flaws that could honestly hold him back.
Analyst Todd McShay came up with the absolute perfect name for Mateer's style, YouTube brain. Think about it. It's like everything is playing at 1.5 speed. It's wild, it's fun to watch, but man, it is often completely out of control. It's like there's no time to just breathe, set your feet, and run the play. It's just go, go, go. For better and for worse. And McShay does not pull any punches when he talks about where the problem starts. His footwork's a disaster. It's blunt, but that's the thing that keeps NFL scouts up at night. How do you build a franchise around a guy whose fundamentals are, well, that chaotic? And you can see that YouTube brain all over the tape. It's like he's playing backyard football out there. He completely ignores his lower body and just trusts his arm to do everything. That means his arm angles are all over the place. He'll look at one receiver and then just take off, and sometimes he'll bail on a perfectly good pocket for no reason at all. Plus, he's really only got one pitch, a fastball, and all of this, it leads to a really big problem.
You see, he's the one creating the turbulence. He's taking these calm, clean situations and turning them into a 5-alarm fire. And that brings us right back to where we started. It's not that he's better under pressure. It's that he's just more comfortable in the chaos that he himself creates. And in the NFL, that kind of self-generated chaos, that just leads to a ton of turnovers.
So, right when he was on top of the college football world, a legit Heisman favorite, his season and maybe his whole career hit a massive speed bump. We're talking about a serious injury to his throwing hand. I mean, look at this timeline. It tells you everything you need to know. In September, he's the king, untouchable, completing over 70% of his passes, looking like a Heisman lock. Then, early October against Auburn, the hand injury. It requires surgery. And he rushes back, maybe too fast, for the Texas game, and it was a disaster. The performance just fell off a cliff, ending with 3 interceptions. The injury basically took away his superpowers. You could see his grip was off, which messed with his accuracy, his zip. But it was more than that. His decision-making got really shaky. It looked like he was trying to do way too much, and he just wasn't that same confident, magical player he was before he got hurt.
And this is where it gets really scary. Analyst Joel Klatt pointed out a really troubling comparison. Remember Curtis Rourke, the QB from Indiana? He was a solid NFL prospect, maybe a day 2 guy. He had a really similar hand injury, and honestly, he was never the same player. His draft stock absolutely tanked, and he fell all the way to the 7th round. It's a huge red flag, a real cautionary tale for what could happen to Mateer.
So, that brings us to the big one. The $100 million question that every single NFL GM is asking about John Mateer right now. What do you do with a player like this?
On one side, you've got people like Jordan Rodgers. They still see the unbelievable raw talent. He's basically saying, look, if John Mateer is healthy, he's the best QB in the country, period. I'm taking him #1 overall. The idea is that the magic, that special something, it's just too rare, too valuable to pass on.
But then you have the other side of the coin, and Todd McShay nails it right here. The real challenge isn't just about the hand healing. It's about him learning to bottle up all that magic while, dialing down the crazy. Can he keep the good stuff while getting rid of the bad?
When you boil it all down, there are really only 2 ways this can go. Path number 1, the superstar arc. He gets healthy, he gets with some great NFL coaches who fix his mechanics, and he learns how to balance that chaos with control. If that happens, he could be an elite NFL quarterback. But there's path number 2, the cautionary tale. The magic just isn't the same after the injury. The bad habits never get fixed, and he becomes one of those classic what-if stories of amazing talent that was just too wild to ever be tamed.
And that brings us right back to the beginning, right back to the paradox. John Mateer was built for the storm, but in the NFL, you have to win from the quiet of the pocket. His entire future and a contract with a whole lot of zeros really boils down to this one simple question. Can a quarterback who is built for chaos ever learn to master the calm?